One small piece of metal, barely larger than a quarter, could be worth more than your house. The 1953 Jefferson nickel. A coin that millions of Americans handled without a second thought, holds secrets that could change your life forever. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, while others sit forgotten in old coin jars and piggy banks across the country. Today we're going to show you exactly what makes certain 1953 nickels so valuable that collectors will pay astronomical sums to own them. And more importantly, we'll teach you how to identify these rare treasures that might be hiding in your own collection. And 1953, the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints produced over 46 million nickels combined. While most of these coins are worth their face value of 5 cents, a select few carry mint errors so rare and significant that they've become the holy grail for serious collectors. Let's start with the basics. A standard 1953 Jefferson nickel weighs exactly 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter. The obverse features Thomas Jefferson's profile facing left, while the reverse shows his iconic home, Monticello. But here's where things get interesting. Even the slightest deviation from these specifications could indicate you're holding something extraordinary. Take the case of James Henderson, a retired schoolteacher from Ohio. In 2019, while sorting through his father's old coin collection, he discovered a 1953 nickel that looks slightly different from the others. The coin had what collectors call a double die error, where the design appears to be stamped twice, creating a subtle shadow effect. That single coin sold at auction $4.28,000, but double dies are just the beginning. The 1953 nickel series is known for several spectacular error varieties that can turn a 5-cent piece into a 5-figure windfall. Let's explore these errors one by one, starting with the more common varieties before revealing the most valuable specimens ever discovered. Point 1 of the first things to look for is off-center strikes. When a coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, the design can be struck anywhere from slightly to severely off-center. A 1953 nickel with a 5 to 10% off-center strike might fetch $50 to $100, but coins with 50% or more off-center strikes while still showing the full date can command thousands. Next, we have repunched mint marks. In 1953, mint marks were punched into the dies by hand, sometimes resulting in double or even triple punched letters. A sharp-eyed collector in California recently found a 1953 D nickel with a clearly repunched demint mark. That coin sold for $3,500 at a specialized auction. Die breaks and cracks represent another category of valuable errors. As the dies used to strike coins wore down, they sometimes developed cracks that transferred onto the coins. The most famous of these is the Buffalo nickel die crack, where a prominent crack appears across Jefferson's head, reminiscent of the earlier Buffalo nickel design. One such example sold for $12,000 in 2021. But now let's talk about the really spectacular errors, the ones that make headlines and change lives. In 2018, a construction worker in Texas made an incredible discovery while metal detecting near an old bank site. He found a 1953 nickel struck on a silver dime planchet, a wrong planchet error that occurs when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination. This exceptional error coin sold for $85,000 at auction. Even more remarkable are the transitional errors, 1953 nickels struck on copper nickel-clad planchets that weren't officially used until 1965. These shouldn't exist, but a handful have been authenticated. One such coin sold for $125,000 in 2020, making headlines in the numismatic community. The most valuable 1953 nickel ever sold was discovered in a roll of coins at a bank in 2016. This specimen featured multiple errors. It was double-struck, with the second strike being 75% off-center, and showed clear evidence of die clash marks. This perfect storm of errors created a truly unique piece that sold for an astounding $367,000 at auction. But here's what makes this hunt so exciting: new discoveries are still being made. Just last year, a previously unknown die variety was identified, showing unusual doubling on the steps of Monticello. This variety, now known as the dancing steps variety, has sparked a renewed interest in examining 1953 nickels. So, how can you identify these valuable errors? Here are the key areas to examine. The mint mark is crucial. Look for any signs of repunching, particularly on Denver D and San Francisco S issues. Use a 5x to 10x magnifier to examine the area around the mint mark for any signs of doubling or tripling. Check Jefferson's profile carefully. Any doubling in the hair details, especially around the ear and ponytail, could indicate a valuable double die variety. Pay special attention to the word Liberty and the date. These areas often show the clearest signs of doubling. Examine Monticello on the reverse. Look for doubled columns, steps, or dome details. The steps are particularly important. Any unusual doubling or mistakes in this area could indicate a rare variety. Weigh and measure your coin. Any significant deviation from the standard 5 grams or 21.2 millimeters diameter could indicate a wrong planchet error, potentially worth thousands. Check the coin surface for die cracks, particularly around the rim and through major design elements. Advanced die states with significant cracks can command premium prices. Look for any signs of multiple strikes, off-center strikes, or other major mint errors. These are often visible to the naked eye and can be among the most valuable varieties. Remember Margaret Wilson's story. She almost spent her 1953 nickel at a grocery store before noticing something odd about Jefferson's ear. That coin turned out to be a rare double die variety worth $15,000. It just shows that these treasures can turn up anywhere. The market for error coins continues to grow, with serious collectors willing to pay top dollar for the rarest varieties. In fact, auction records for 1953 nickel errors have been broken 3 times in the past 5 years alone. Here's another fascinating aspect of these error coins. They're still being discovered. Unlike many other rare coins that have been thoroughly documented and cataloged, new varieties of 1953 nickel errors continue to emerge. This means that any 1953 nickel you come across could potentially be an undiscovered variety worth thousands. Consider the story of Robert Chun, who started examining 1953 nickels after watching a video similar to this one. Within 6 months, he found 2 valuable error coins, one with a significant die break and another with strong doubling on the reverse. Combined, these coins sold for over $20,000. As we wrap up today's exploration of the 1953 nickel, remember that knowledge is your most valuable tool in identifying these rare treasures. Take your time examining any 1953 nickels you find. Pay attention to the details we've discussed, and always have unusual specimens authenticated by reputable grading services. Who knows? The next major discovery could be sitting in your pocket change or coin jar right now. Every 1953 nickel deserves a careful look. It might just be your ticket to a numismatic jackpot. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're constantly researching and sharing information about valuable coins that might be hiding in plain sight. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or if you've ever found an interesting coin error. We'd love to hear your stories. And don't forget to click the notification bell to stay updated on our upcoming videos, where we'll reveal more secrets about valuable coins from different years and denominations. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, every coin tells a story, but some stories are worth a fortune.